starting to do the class recording, turn it on, and I'm going to start sharing my screen. This lesson is actually going to be very jam-packed with very different things. The reason is because it's the fourth lesson, and the last one is next session, but that's not a lesson. That's going to be where we have a special guest coming in, as you guys already know, Miss Yadira Caro, and she gave you guys a form that you need to complete, which I think from what I heard from our admin team, everyone's completed the form. Hopefully that's okay and true. So I think if you have completed the form, that will just give her a better idea of how to get started with you guys in the session, which I'll be in as well myself. So I'm going to get started. Today's lesson, there are a couple of things that I noticed that you guys were asking from last lesson and even the lessons before. So I want to start addressing those things first. And then there are some new things that I want to show you on how to do, which are very, very unique concepts in content creation. You would see videos that actually do these steps have a lot of views, right? They have a lot of views and they do a lot of great content. I'm going to name a few for you guys because I think if you actually follow them as well as follow our content that we have, which I want to show you in different aspects, I feel like you will really progress in this whole content creation. I also want to talk about what comes after this course because we have our last session next class, right? So what's after, and I want to talk about the assessments and the report card and all that stuff as well. So I'm going to try to put everything into this session. Can everyone just make sure that your camera is turned on, please, during the class session so I don't have to say that, and just make sure you're in front of the camera so that we have it as a class that's interactive. So far, I can see marvelous. John, you're always hidden, not sure why. And Sule, your camera, I think to me looks off, so I'm not sure. So can everyone just adjust that before we begin? Okay, so some of the questions that you guys had. First of all, I think this question is on everybody's mind. How can you create a scenario, a scene for a video content for pretty much anything? So how do you go about creating one that's good, that's viral, that's engaging? What would you do? That's, I think, the first question that everyone kind of had. And somebody even asked that question, if I'm not mistaken, Sule, in the last lesson that you had. Another one is I've noticed when I was marking your work, because I was marking your lesson 1 and lesson 2, and I took the time to play everybody's thing, which of course is very important to do. I noticed that there's still problems where accurate text is not included in the video. You have to make sure that text is accurate, even if it's the most littlest text in there. It just shows how professional you are as a content creator. I think another question that I think John asked towards the end of last lesson or before, not sure exactly when, was how to insert the soundtrack in the video. If you don't already know this, I just want to go over it one more time, especially generating the soundtrack and how it makes sense to the video that you're actually creating. There's actually something very also great that I want to show you guys. This is a different resource I'm going to show you guys. It's a free resource. I just think many people don't know about it, and so they don't use it very much. So I want to show you guys about it again and how you can use it. The fourth one is how to insert accurate language. Okay, so this one, Marvelous, you asked this question from what I got from the admin, because I'm always asking them to follow through on what you guys are posting and asking. I think the accuracy of the language, the accent, the tone, even Yoruba language is possible to be in the video. We actually did something of recent that we were trying to do for Teach for Nigeria for the kids in public school, because we were trying to create for them material, which we are actually, and their instructors wanted the material to go in Yoruba, and it is possible. We actually made Google to be able to get that into the Yoruba accent. You guys know that there's Yoruba, there's Igbo, there's Hausa in the Google translation. So it is accurate to the sense where I think the accent is, I don't understand Yoruba or Igbo or any of those languages, but I do know from what we saw and what we were doing, the accent was okay in terms of how you understand what he was saying. So I'm going to talk about that. How to insert captions as well, and how to insert logo pictures. So I think John mentioned, from what I saw again on lesson 3 comment, that you were able to create a logo picture. You need to have your own signature. As a content creator, you have to know how to create your own, which I think you guys know how to create logo pictures, but you have to have your own signature, because that's going to make your content, when everybody sees it, they always know it's coming from you. So those are the things we're going to briefly address real quick. And then the last things that we have new is 3D CGI, which I told you guys before. I'm going to try into this lesson, and time travel videos. So I have an example I wouldn't say specifically time travel. I would say time travel, but I would also say sort of like modern travel, or maybe just with a historical figure or somebody who's quite famous. Although you should be careful in the way you create these videos because they need to be created for educational purposes. So before you publish anything, go online and check who has these legal estates and stuff with these kind of famous people before you publish anything, so you don't go into any sort of problems. I'll show you something. For example, this video here, right? I'm sure everybody will recognize this is Albert Einstein.
Dimension of the manifold, a
for example,
fit for the anomaly.
Indeed, the missing piece of the puzzle.
Brilliant.
So for example, just that short clip, right? This is Albert Einstein. Then we have Alan Turing, for example. I'm going to play one. And then I want to show you something in another difference. So this is sort of like maybe time travel, but I would say more of like communication with someone from the past. So let me see if this one's a video. I think this is another example.
Nazli Tech School isn't just a school, it's a completely decentralized learning network. Did you know they patented their entire curriculum structure?
That's incredible, a patented curriculum structure. I had no idea.
So that's Alan Turing, for example, right? And then there's one that might surprise you guys that we actually use John for. So I'm going to use, so this is based on what we asked you guys in the WhatsApp, where I'm going to get to, because we asked you who you would like to go back in time or who you would like to meet to be able to learn a skill where you can create a content and teach people how to create that skill. So I'll come back to that in a few minutes. So John, we used you on this one. Okay, so yours was Elon Musk, which I think another person mentioned Elon Musk. So let's see.
I'm here because I want to learn how you turn these bold ideas into real-world innovations so fast.
So for example, like that, right? And then there's a second version. So you notice how we took John and put that in there as much as we can.
I want to learn how you turn these bold ideas into real-world innovations so fast.
Now, why I showed you two variations is because when you're creating these content, you want to kind of get the most accurate one of it, at least for in terms of like facial figures, which I think, for example, this is a perfect example, right? Look at this. So image-wise, right, one, and then you have another version like this, see? So this is part of the things that I'm going to show you as well today that's new. And you can do this in a very creative way when you're creating content, even if you don't get the person exactly 100%, but at least you can just do maybe 85% so that you just avoid any kind of problems, as I said. Okay, so let's get started. Scenario, what is today's lesson about? So today is basically, we're trying to create a commercial video, right? A 30-second this time. And we're going to go from scratch here. So imagine again, you've been hired by this company called Bio-Synth Industrial, and they're industrial chemistry. So they create industrial chemicals. We're going to see what we mean by that. So industrial chemicals. So they are hiring you to create this 30-second flagship ad video where they want to not make their industrial chemicals that they make boring, seem just a regular thing, crude oil, ammonia. They want to kind of make it into a more sustainable, eco-friendly sort of chemical, sort of transform it into a sustainable leaf. If you're going to, see this, particularly sustainable leaf. So if we're talking leaf plants, you should be going in your mind and thinking, okay, so this company could probably be doing something in fertilizers, right? Leaf, because that would be the best way you can connect this if you, of course, don't know this client. But in reality, when you create a video content, you obviously know the client, so you know what they want. You have to listen carefully to what they want so that you can be able to use your intuition and create content and relate it to everyone else, right? So this company is an industrial chemistry-based chemical producing company, and they want things to change in the way people see what type of chemicals they create, not just chemicals, but things that could be sustainable and eco-friendly into something like transforming into a sustainable leaf. People can have very weird requests and you could get something like this. So a couple of things that we're going to use, of course, Google Flow, Gemini, the same stuff, Whisk, which, by the way, Whisk is now engulfed in Google Flow. So it's no longer just Whisk on its own. We also are going to use the Gemini music as well. And then we have to do something about the viral factor. So the viral factor here is that there must be a metamorphosis sequence that's basically seeing high viscosity chemicals. So this is like where it attracts. The viralness is the attractiveness of looking at the video. So this is a very important thing in how you develop your scenario. So let's get started on scenario development. And then while we're developing the scenario, I will address all this stuff. Okay, so all these things here. I'm not maybe going to address the logo picture because I feel like, unless if you guys really don't know how to make logo pictures, but logo is just you and what you want. So I might just address it a little. Now, let's go and open up Gemini. I also want to talk about your portfolio because by the end of this course, and I'm going to come into assessments because I'll stop this lesson, I think about 10 minutes before it ends, because I need to talk about the assessment. I need to talk about a portfolio. It's a requirement. You have to have a portfolio that showcases all the things you've done, and you need to create it in a very creative and intuitive way, okay? So I'm going to help you, get you through on how you create your portfolio. And I want to show you that tool that I was talking about. We're going to go to Replit. I don't know if you guys know about this, this online website called Replit. It's actually for software development, but there's some very cool tools that I think you can use there as a content creator. Okay, so what do? We start the usual stuff. Create. Again, a viral. I always like to go with the word viral. Captivating, depending on how you want to say this. And if you have no idea what the chemical, industrial chemical liquid could be, then you could research a little bit and ask Gemini, give me some examples of, you could actually do that. Let's do that now. So you could do something like based on the scenario below. And we're going to do 3D CGI, by the way. So just watch. Based on the scenario below, you can say, give me some examples of industrial chemicals capable, right? Capable, or something that makes sense, capable of being advertised as chemicals. I wanted to use the word metamorphize, like being metamorphized into this like sustainable leaf, but I think I'll go with transformed. So transformed, advertised as chemicals, transformed into sustainable leaf. Okay, even if you think that doesn't make much sense, it actually does. In anything content, everything makes sense. And you can say something that will relate, relatable. This is another keyword to all types of viewing audience, right? So everybody should be able to relate to this. You could also say storytelling. I think you guys know the importance of storytelling. I said this before, it's really important that you do storytelling. So you could do that. We've actually never tried that before. So you could say, maybe after, let's look at the chemicals and then we can create a storytelling. So you're gonna say, here is the scenario. Okay, that's it. And then you're gonna paste. I didn't copy it, so let's go copy it. What am I gonna copy exactly? Well, first of all, let me give you guys the link to this document, because I always forget towards the end of the lesson. So I'm going to give you guys the link. You guys are going to be editors. Don't change anything on it. Just look through it, because I know most of you guys just follow and then later on you apply. So here's the link. You guys can check it out, join in. And you can follow me as I go, because I'll just kind of populate it there, okay? So, and then of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So here's the scenario. What am I going to copy from here? I just need the main thing. So I just really need the client and the scenario, or maybe just like from here to here. I don't need to specify the content more. So I'll just go with this. So paste that in, okay, as you see me. And then I also want to paste in the viral factor, because I feel like, maybe not. I don't need to paste that in because I just asked for the type of liquids, so chemicals. I don't really need that. So let's send this and let's see what Gemini is going to give us. Well, Gemini, as you guys know, just like any other generative tool, is very good in research, but what you really put into the research is what really it gives you back. Okay, so here it says the plastic that breathes, polylactic acid. This is derived from fermented plant starch. I'm just going to run through this, okay, because you have to pick one for this advert. You guys all have to pick one type of chemical, industrial chemical. So here it's talking about PLA as a poster child for sustainable chemistry, is going into a lot of things. And it says audience relatability. How people relate to this is that everyone knows plastic is bad, right? So, well, at least everybody. So showing a chemical that becomes a leaf tells the audience the biosynth is fixing the plastic crisis. So you could decide to go with this polylactic acid and use that to build your scenario. So that's why I said you should do a little research. You could also go with captured carbon dioxide. That's turning waste air into life. And how it's relatable is that it's like a redemption story. So you're literally just turning the cause of global warming into a symbol of global cooling. So you got the idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all these examples. I really don't want to give you guys anything to use. Okay, guys, I don't want to give you anything that you can like use. Like I want you to use your own brain, your own intuition, your own prompt engineering. So I'm just going to put it out there, but I do not advise you to be using this. Okay, try to create your own. So what I'll do is I'll put this as sample chemicals or industrial chemicals. You got to know your client. So this is why I'm doing all of this. You have to know your client. So pick whatever you want, for example, right? So for me personally, I like to go with plastic is bad because I think it's a thing where people are very relatable to. So I'll go with plastic is bad. By the way, if you see any $sign here, it's just because when you copy paste things from Gemini, it comes up whenever there's like a subscript, it comes with a $sign. So what I'll do is I'll copy this hook. Okay, I'm going to use this. So this is what I pick. I'll use this. I'm using this polylactic acid, by the way, we're talking about industrial chemicals. So here, all the way here. And I think one of you guys is into industrial chemistry or something like that, from what I remember. I'm not sure who it is, but we base this course based on your own sort of like fields. Anyways, going back into this, I'm going to now create a separate, I want to go with a separate chat because I don't want it to do anything from history. So I'll go new chat. Now I'm going to start this, create a viral, captivating scenario. Now you can say storytelling. Okay, let's do that because I haven't gone into 3D CGI yet, but I will tell you guys how you can make this into a 3D CGI animation because animation is relatable to everybody. Everybody finds animation funny, even adults. So the way you do it doesn't mean that it's just childish. It also can relate to people, especially a change of like breath of fresh air. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So first of all, I'll say create a viral captivating scenario. You can say a storytelling that can, I'm going to show you what I'll do, that can create a short video in the form of storytelling that is emotional. I'm not doing the 3D CGI yet, by the way. I'm going to do that. Just hear me out on this one. So it's emotional. I like to go with emotional with the purpose of, so advertising. You guys know one key about prompt engineering is being articulate in English, like in language. If you're articulate, you know how to speak it and know how to communicate your thoughts into the AI, you're going to do very well. So if you're not articulate, you got to find ways how you can develop that articulation. So that is emotional with the purpose of advertising for an industrial, for a company. Maybe I'll just say for a company and then just talk about what they do. For a company that produces industrial I spelled that wrong. Industrial chemicals. I'm gonna say that's that kind of an acid. You know, remember the one we saw, I think it was polylactic acid, like that. So with the idea, or you can say with the motive, what was the motive? Plastic is plastic that breathes, right? So the idea of this, basically that. I'm going to copy that, eliminating the notion what people have. So plastic that breathes, that eliminates the notion people have, which is plastic is bad. You want to be able to like get rid of that, like in this advert, you want to get rid of that idea. And then you can say using the information. So I'm going to put a period here because I've been writing very long. So let me just go back and see how I can rephrase this. So create a viral captivating scenario that can create a short video in the form of storytelling that is emotional with the purpose of advertising for a company that produces industrial chemicals like polylactic acid with the idea, with the idea that plastic breathes. I'm gonna rewrite this, by the way. which is like the motto. I'm going to put like motto here that eliminates the notion people have, which is plastic is bad. Okay, I'm going to put that down. Now I'm going to say using the information below. Okay, then I'm going to say create, or just rewrite this and say, make sure the viral scenario, storytelling, make sure you emphasize this. It's really important. The storytelling, viral storytelling scenario is broken down. This is going to help you to not waste your credits when you're generating, okay? Which I think you guys already know. Into scenes that can create a captivating or catchy, let's use the word catchy, shorts film, you can say shorts video, whatever you want to say here, reel, anything. And you can keep going and say, and each scene should have or should contain. What should it contain? I always do this. You guys know very well. Settings, right? I always do that. Action, I always do that. Or maybe before action, let's talk about character profiles because we want characters in this like short video. Action. I also want soundtrack, but maybe no, I don't want soundtrack because we're going to generate it. Let's not do soundtrack. So action, we do want voiceovers. And be specific here, okay? Say short description. It's important that you give a short description of voiceover with tone and accent. That's also important. Text overlays, which I think sometimes you guys, some people omit, which is not a good thing. So again, short description of how you can display them that suits each scene, of how to display these suitable to each scene. So maybe how to display these in a beautiful manner. I feel like this is important for each scene. Okay, so what else do we need? Oh, we need one more thing, which is natural transition. Natural transition is very important, which explains how each scene moves from one to the next. That's also important. I think that's it. Now, make sure you switch over to thinking. Very important. You notice that this is not 3D CGI. This is just explanation. One thing you can also do here is you can tell it to put language. Okay, this is where language comes into place, like I told you guys. You could say, I don't know, after it speaks in English, go into another language, right? So basically, let's try this in Yoruba. Let's see how it works. Okay, let's try. Let's see how it's going to work. Now, another point is also, for the voiceovers, let's say, make sure to include Yoruba voiceover. Yeah, voiceover after English is spoken, but you can say, but this is important, do not make it sound repetitive. Okay, something making sense. Make it meaningful and understandable to both English speaking and Yoruba speaking audience, right? English speaking and Yoruba speaking. Okay, I have a spelling mistake here. Speaking audience. That's it. So you can add this little thing to it, this little touch. And now I'm going to send it. Oh, did I post one more thing I forgot to do was actually copy paste this. So I need to copy this thing and paste it really well. So what I'll do is for here, again, I will definitely copy the idea behind it. So I know that it's a scenario for this. I need that. I also would copy this. Very important is the viral factor, which I told you guys about. This is also really important. And then, of course, the idea, the hook, which is really important. That's what gets the audience interested in the first place. So let's do that and let's see what scenario we do. Another important thing that I wanted to tell you guys is that if you don't want to waste your credits, make sure you tell the AI to generate scenes that are capable of generating 8-second video clips. I said that last time. It's really important because you just copy that, you just paste it, and you just generate the video easily. So what I'll do is I'll copy this first. Let's copy that. Go back here. And then the last thing I'll do is make sure each scene, this is the last part, okay, is capable of generating, oh, by the way, you guys can't see this, so I'll have to shift it here. So generating 8-second video clips. Now, you guys would think, well, we're writing a lot. Well, you have to be detailed. Like I said last time, if you're not detailed, you're not going to get the right thing. So make sure each scene is capable of generating 8-second clips. You can say include a timing per scene, include timing per scene. So this way it gives you like, or if you don't want to say 8 seconds, you could say 5 seconds because it's 30 seconds, right? So you can say that 5 seconds. And here we could go back and say short video of, you could put the time because it says 30 seconds. I forgot to put that. Duration, which is 30 seconds. That's important. So now the last thing is paste it here. Here is the scenario or the information to use. Paste. That's it. I just pasted it. Last one to paste. I'm going to go back and paste the viral factor. Maybe what I'll do is paste the hook before the viral factor. You can do any one, really. The AI would understand. You just give it the information. So here, paste, then go back, paste the information that you need, which is the viral factor. If you want to go with music, I don't think you should put any music right now because we want to do without audio for now, without like soundtrack. That's it. Now you can send it and say, do not generate a video. You know how it is. Sometimes it will just start generating video. Do not generate a video. Only, you can say only text-based scenes, okay? Text-based scenes as described above. That's it. Finally, boom, send. That was a lot of things that we wrote, a lot, like a book. So anyways, we will send it. Now it should be thinking. Make sure you're on thinking because then it thinks. Now, look at what it's done. This is why I said take your time to send it, because it just does everything in the most reasonable way. And we have our scene right here. It's called the metamorphosis. It's plastic isn't the villain. The source was. That's like the core message. Plastic that breeds, that's the motto. Now you can see that we're generating stuff in 5 seconds. Every the scenes we're generating is like lasting for 5 seconds. You also notice that there's the Yoruba version. You pretty much maybe are wondering, well, I don't know. Can you guys read this in Yoruba? Do you know how to say this? Anyone? Do you know how to say it, like how to pronounce it? Because we're going to do it with the AI, you're going to see, but is it like readable for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Okay. So thanks, Marvelous. So you guys are probably wondering, well, how are we going to do like voiceover in English and then voiceover in Yoruba? That's easy. We can just tell the AI to merge the two into one single sentence to make the same meaning and to sound the same. That's why they say Nigerian English but we have to say that it's merged into like Yoruba also voiceover. So anyways, we've got our things. We have everything ready. If you're wondering how we can get this into 3D CGI, all you have to do is just come down here. I'm going to show you the other part. You're not going to write too much here. And just say, using the scenes above, write new scenes that can create a viral 30-second 3D CGI video, whatever, short film that is relatable. Also do that relatable thing so you don't get something childish, neither do you get something too adult. So that is relatable to all types of viewing audience. And include all details per scene as above. That's all. You can just do that and send it and then see what it generates. Now, of course, it's going to generate for you something that will be more relatable in terms of like 3D CGI. And then we're going to compare the difference in the graphics, right? The graphics is the one. So now it says reimagined. It says this new scenario has been reimagined for a high-end 3D CGI. So again, the idea is the same. The whole scene is the same. I mean, not scene, but like the setting is the same. And you can see that it's putting timing, which makes it easier for you to understand. And it goes all the way until 30 seconds, which is exactly what we want for this. So there's a total of 6 scenes. Now let's compare the graphics generation. Okay, so graphics, then I'll go into the language. So what I'll do is I'll copy this. You guys already know this. Copy this entire thing. Come back here and change this to image. Then I'm doing the one that's non-CGI. Okay, non-CGI. Now you're going to do this. Create. You notice that I always use this word viral because it's really good. It's really good if you use it because the AI kind of goes through all the sort of type of viral videos it can give you. So viral high quality image or picture with an aspect ratio. Make sure you specify if you want to go like real, with an aspect ratio of 916. Remember, you guys can also do this on Google Flow, by the way. So showing what? What are we showing? Paste the entire thing there. I just pasted everything. You guys can see, all pasted. What I want to do is obviously take out the voiceover. I don't need that. Yoruba voiceover, English voiceover, get rid of all that stuff, take it out, and only stick to just the character and the action going on. By the way, guys, oops, I forgot something. Do not include minors. Don't include minors because it's a big problem. If you include minors, you can't generate a video. So unfortunately, we have a minor here. So what we can do is instead of a young girl, say an adult lady, something like that. Okay, an adult lady. So again, I forgot to do that. Do not include minors, don't, or famous people. Don't do that. So an adult lady, you can specify what kind of personality or what kind of race is she if you want to be more into that. But I'm just doing an adult lady so that we don't have any problems with generating the video. Minors are always a problem. You can do minor if you're creating the video, but if you're going to animate the picture, that's where it's the problem, because it will detect the minor in the picture and it will not do it. But sometimes when you're creating from scratch, like from the beginning, it can generate you with minor. But I really would say just avoid doing that. Just go for teenagers or adults, like teenage adults. Okay, so let's see what it's generating. I did say adult lady, so I made a mistake also. I forgot to change this child's hand because it's supposed to be an adult lady's hand, because then the whole point is we're saying an adult lady. So let's see what we generate and we can always fix it. Yeah, you see what I mean? Yeah, this is a problem. So I'm gonna copy this and just fix it. I forgot to pay attention to that detail. So you can just open a new Gemini, paste that in there. Now read it really well, because you don't want to go with children. So shot of an adult lady's hand. That's it. And then I think that's all. So her finger, okay, that makes sense. Her finger, blah, 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 her expression. Okay, let's see what we get now. So now I'm changing it to image. So I've switched it from child to adult because it wouldn't make sense if I keep it as a child, since we're talking about an adult lady. So okay, and then I want to go back, once we generate this picture, I want to go back into the CGI, the 3D CGI animation, and just see the difference between the two of them. And then we're going to generate the video with the language. And that's where we're going to be talking about language. So for now, let's see. Also, give me one moment. I need to close something real quick. In the meantime, I need to close something. I'm going to close this one. It's generating the image, by the way. I'm just trying to close something here. Okay, so creating an image. Let's see if it's done. Okay, well, this makes sense. At least it's an adult lady. So this is what I got. The old ending starts with that. And again, remember, this is storytelling. So you're probably wondering why you're seeing it's going to start as a storytelling. So I'm downloading this picture. Again, of course, because we're saying Yoruba language, we're saying speak in that language. We want to get someone who kind of goes with that as well. So we're going to leave it for now as she is. But you can also send to the AI and say change. You could just do this. The lady in the picture above to a young Nigerian lady, something like that, or someone else. So that it fits the voiceover. Change the lady in the picture above. I just want to show you the difference, and then you send. So I downloaded this picture. You notice that it's on my desktop. So I have my first scene ready. So now I'm just going to go and start making the video as usual, but I want to make sure it makes sense. But I'll also show you the 3D CGI one so that you can see, and then we'll go into the video. Let's just see what it does for the lady. And then going back here, for the 3D CGI one, remember it started all the way here. Let me show you. So here, this was like 3D CGI. Now look at the scene again and make sure you don't have any sort of like a child. And it doesn't seem like I have a child in this one. So this is good. So this is the first scene. Okay, scene number 1. And we're going to generate an image for this one so you see the difference. So pretty much what I'll do is just paste everything, make it easy, and then just go down to where I created the first image and then just copy this part so I don't have to retype the whole thing. And then just paste it over here. And I will just give a more command here so it knows it's 3D CGI. Just I added that viral 3D CGI thing. And then I will just take out, what should I take out? I need to take out voiceovers. Voiceovers go away. So this and this will go away. What else do I need to take out? I feel like I took out something wrong, something else. Okay, this and this goes away. Okay, there it is. Now transition, I'm gonna take that out. We don't do transition here. That's it. So I have everything ready. Character, there's no child in this. It's just pretty much just an entry. So I'll send it. Let's see what we get. Let's see the Yoruba lady. I think this makes more sense, at least. Even though the hand is not right. So if you get something odd like this, where the hand isn't going, okay, that's easy. What you do is just copy this again, and you can do this on Google Flow or Google Gemini. Paste it again, but this time when you're specifying the lady, you just put Nigerian at the beginning, and then it's fine. It just understands that way. Because sometimes when you do this, it just works in that strange manner. Okay, and you can keep prompting it and telling it, remove the hand, do this, do that. I think the easiest way is just to copy the scenario, change the kind of person, and then wait for it to generate. We have this one generating too. Look at the 3D CGI. See this? Ooh, I like the 3D CGI. I personally like 3D CGI. I think it really immediately, immediately it communicates the idea. Plastic, of course, breathes, okay? The idea, and remember, it's polylactic acid. So I really, really like the 3D CGI. I'm gonna download it because we're gonna make a video of it, of course. And I really like to do this on Google Flow because I feel like Google Flow has that edge of bringing videos into a very realistic sort of frame. Okay, so I've got two things downloaded, by the way. Let me show you. So I have one, which is this one, which I really don't like because it doesn't seem like, it will go with the voiceover, but it's an example. The one I really, really like was this one. So I think this is perfect, the way it even starts. So I'll just put this one as scene 1, scene 1B. And then we'll do like 2 videos for this. Okay, let's see what it did for the Nigerian lady. I mean, it does look emotional. She is starting as emotional, but we can see how it will relate to the scenario. So what I'll do is download it. Like I said, just go down, generate a couple of them on Google Flow and see which one's the best. Anyways, let's go into the video now. So what I'll do is copy this idea in the video, and this is where you guys make mistakes sometimes with the text. So pay attention to how you can avoid incorrect text. Okay, so remember where we are. We're still on the first part, non-CGI. So this is the first scene, okay? So I'm copying everything here. But before I do that, the Yoruba and the English voiceover, I want to merge them into one single sentence. That means the same thing, but it's shorter because I can't have it like this. It's not going to do it properly if we just copy this as it is. It will not speak for that 5 seconds. It will cut off, and we don't want that to happen. So what you'll do is say shorten this for a 5-second video clip to mean, shorten this voiceover, by the way, just put it there, to mean the same thing. I forgot to say mean the same thing, and then include a very short description to mean the same thing, spoken both in English. And by the way, these are things you can eliminate doing if you just gave more specifics on, like, when you were giving the whole scenario in the first place, just say one sentence, that's it. Spoken in English and Yoruba, meaning the same thing with very short description of the tone and accent. So that it's like, Yoruba tone, Yoruba sort of accent when it's spoken doesn't seem abnormal. So you're just going to paste this thing in here. And you can say shorten this voiceover into a single sentence, by the way, if you want to do that so that you don't waste credits again. And then send it and see what the AI does. So it's going to be here. Let's see what it shortens. And then it will do it where it's spoken both in English and in Yoruba. So this is what it says. This is what it says, okay? And the type of accent, it says spoken with soulful, grounded Lagosian cadence. So Lagosian as in Lagos, right? Lagosian, you can say Nigerian Lagosian to be more specific. Yeah. Anyways, we've got that. Let's copy this. Let me save it somewhere because I don't want to have to be coming down here. So I'm going to open up a doc. Oh, actually, let me do it in your doc. By the way, you guys noticed that I haven't populated the doc that I'm in right now. I haven't put the whole scenarios and all that stuff. I can do that later on. For now, I'm just going to put this and say to note. I'll do that later on. Don't worry. This is what I'm doing, okay? So now let's get back. Let's start making the video. Like I said, I'm really happy with the AI, like the 3D CGI. I think it just immediately captures the whole audience in the beginning. I don't know what you guys think, but I just feel it's the best. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this. Someone asking a question? I'm not sure. I heard something.
Yes, Alicia, the 3D CGI, can you do it? Can you show us, take us through it one more time?
Of course, yes, I will do that, definitely. Okay, I'll take you guys one more time through it. Let me just paste this in here and then I'll take you guys. I just want to put the prompt. So guys, the prompt is, I'll go right now into the 3D CGI, but I just want to put the prompt to be able to generate this first video that's non-3D CGI. So I'm going to say, using the image, the picture attached here. This is always what I like to do. I'm going to say, create a viral, high quality video clip. Everybody has their own way of doing stuff. I just like to use that word viral all the time. Anyways, I just pasted everything, as you guys can see. I'm going to walk you through the 3D CGI. And again, bim, 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 you know, red lines, guys. Do not do this stuff again. Be careful with the kid thing there because, you know, it's not a kid anymore. So you have to adjust it. I'm going to adjust it. But let's go through the 3D CGI one more time. Then I'll come back and adjust. Okay, so 3D CGI, let's get back here. What I did was, you guys already know, the prompt, I will give you guys the prompt sample. The initial prompt was this one, right? This was the initial one, and it was the one that was non-3D CGI. In the beginning, if your intention is to create a 3D CGI, then you should just specify it here. Create a viral 3D CGI, blah, 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 and it will do it for you. So I did the non-3D CGI, which generated this stuff, this scenes. There are a total, I think, of 6 scenes, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, they are. And then finally, I went down and I asked the AI to do this. And I said, use the scenes above and write new scenes that can create a viral 30-second 3D CGI video that's relatable to all types of viewing audience. And I said, include all the details as the scenes above. And then it gave me this. This is where I got the 3D CGI sort of scenes. So it's going to give you scenes and settings that actually go with 3D CGI. And that's like the first scene that you guys see here, by the way. So let's get back to the scene 1. I just took scene number 1 and I just made it into this picture. And I think like I really want to do this so bad that I want to see how it's going to look like, because I feel it immediately, like how often do you see graphics like this? It's not so often, right? To see something that starts like this. So immediately it will captivate people's minds. That's what you want. You want something that's going to captivate in the beginning. That's the hook. So anyways, I hope this is understandable, John, and anyone else, but this is really what I just did for the 3D CGI. Okay, John says it's okay. So let's get back into the video, shall we? So moving back, I think you guys know how I got to, you know, vids. Everybody knows how I got to vids. I just wrote this extra thing at the top here, giving it some new instruction. And then I'm looking very carefully at what it's saying here. So I'm going to change this, okay? So a shot contrast of the woman's hand. I'm not going to say child anymore. As shown, you see what I'm doing? In the picture attached here. You guys notice I'm saying the shot of the woman's hand as shown in the picture attached. I'm really relating this so that the AI knows I'm talking about the woman in the picture, because I'm choosing animate. I'm not choosing from scratch, okay, animate. So, and then it says the hand is touching a piece of cracked gray traditional plastic, blah, 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 in a dusty environment. Wait, first of all, let me look at that picture really well. Let me see the lady's picture. Let me see how that looks, if it makes sense to what it's saying. So this is the picture I got, right? I didn't really regenerate it, but like I said, you can go and regenerate it on Google Flow, which I think I should just show you later on. But yeah, you can regenerate it on Google Flow. Anyways, it says traditional dusty, well, I wouldn't say touching any traditional plastic, but it's in a dusty environment. The colors are muted. And okay, what you can do here is just say as shown. You can also say as exactly shown in the picture attached here. It just makes it more emphasized to not do anything else than what you have, especially when you want to go with the scene. So that's it, guys. Now, the last thing is the character says that it's a young girl, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to take out this part. I don't need the young girl part. I do need her expression, though. So the things that you take out and use is important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say The woman's expression, I'll change her and I'll say the woman's expression is curious but cautious. Her finger, and then it can continue with her finger, blah, blah, blah. It looks like a bear. The camera zooms in so close that the plastic looks like a barren desert. Okay, let's leave it the way it is, okay? Now, voiceover. Voiceover, do you guys remember that we've actually corrected the voiceover? So I'm gonna take this whole thing out. Look at what I'm doing. Take everything out for voiceover. Look at what I have, nothing, right? I still have a blank voiceover like this. And then what I'll do is go back to this part here, the document. This is the voiceover. This is what I want. Take that in or copy that, paste it here. And the plastic, they said plastic was the end. I'm not gonna say this in Yoruba because I don't know how to speak it, so I don't wanna make a mistake. Let's see what the AI is gonna do, okay? So in terms of that will come after the English is spoken. Apparently that's what we have, right? But another thing that you can make sure that this actually comes properly is make sure you go and say spoken, you copy the first part. You don't wanna copy the entire thing, okay? Like the whole thing, because that's too much. Just copy what makes sense in here. So I'm going to copy the beginning, like all the way from here to here. And you can even tell it to give you a shorter like tone or accent description. Now I'm saying spoken with a female. I'm going to say female because we don't want to get a male there. Female, soulful, grounded, Lagosian. I'm going to just put Yoruba in there because I just want to have that in there just so it knows. Candidates, and that's it. So you can make this shorter if you prefer to describe the voiceover, or you can just describe it however you think it should be spoken. Now that's it, guys. Finish with that. Now, the last thing is the text overlay. How do you make sure text stays the way it is? I told you guys about the trick text. I said, go and copy this part because you know what this is saying? It says this text should be included exactly how it should, showing exactly as it is. This is what you need, the trick text. Go and make sure you put that on the action section. Where you see action, okay, here, even if you have so much voice text overlays, it doesn't matter. Just make it plural. So this is the trick text that I copy pasted. You notice that in the what? In the action section, okay, right at the end of the action, right here, begins here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy the text overlay. What is the text? This is the only thing that's showing in the picture. So cut that out, go back up, paste it over here. Close that. And then I want to also copy the way the text should be displayed. So copy this display example description because we said that. And then come back to the same place right here, guys. Okay. So in the same place. And then right after where it says text overlay, open parentheses and paste the description in here. That's it. That way the AI is going to know that you want it to be displayed like this. That's all. So be very careful because if you're careful, you get the right thing in the beginning. So now everything is done. And all I need now is to upload the picture and see what I get. So upload the picture. This is the image. And then generate. So I left the transition. I didn't change anything. I said, leave it the way it is. It says a ripple effect happens. Click generate. Now wait. What you can also do to be sure, if you want to do this simultaneously, is copy the exact same thing and then go to Google Flow and generate as well. So you can see the difference. Let's do that so we see the difference. So I'm going to close this picture, open Google Flow. Remember that I'm still generating. I didn't leave anything. It's just generating. So I'm just going to Google Flow. Now let's go to Google Flow. And in Google Flow, the reason why I like doing it sometimes is because it gives you a very realistic way of how the video looks like. And sometimes vids doesn't do justice in terms of that. So I like Google Flow for that purpose, but I'm not saying that vids doesn't do a good job too. It depends really. You're supposed to be using your intuition for this. Now I pasted the entire thing, as you guys can see, switching video, switching to 9:16 times 1, upload the picture, same photo. And then upload it here. Again, the picture, you can regenerate this picture on Google Flow. If you don't like the way it is, obviously regenerate it until you get the right one that makes sense a lot to the scenario. I'm just trying to get it to the best I can here. So I'm going to make sure the picture is uploaded. Now send it. Let's go to the, here.
They said plastic was the end. One near yeti baje.
Well, I'm not sure, guys, how that sounds in Yoruba. I'm not sure. I don't even know how to speak my father's tongue. So you guys are the Yoruba ones. Let me play it again so you guys can hear, okay? You guys listen.
No,
okay?
it's
So
not
I'm gonna
correct.
play. It's not correct. What is it supposed to say? Did she say it wrong in the accent, or like the way she said it was wrong?
The accents and the
The
way she
accent is
said it.
wrong. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you guys can twist it around. I'm just gonna ignore the fact that the Yoruba was at the end, okay? But let's look at like the scene of how she started, because we can regenerate this without Yoruba. With other languages, it's okay with the accent.
Alicia, play
Yeah,
it
let me
again.
play it again. Okay, let me play it again for you guys. All right, listen.
They said plastic was the end. One ni ayeti baje.
Is that right? It says not right. The Yoruba part isn't right, right? The accent. Did she even say the right thing in Yoruba? Is that even right? What she said at the end?
Murdered my mother tongue.
All right, so you guys, if you have that, you can do another trick you can do actually is if the Yoruba was correct in like this, like the text itself, is this text correct? Like what it's interpreting in Yoruba, does it make sense? Like this text here, the one that I highlight, is it correct?
No. No.
Okay. Okay, so that's why, guys, you didn't tell me that. Okay, look at what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you one way you can make it accurate. Copy this, go to Google Translate. You guys know that Google Translate translates Yoruba. Hopefully it does a correct job. So translate from English to Yoruba. Okay, so it's not exactly, is what she said was wrong. So let's get it into the correct translation. Now you guys tell me if this is correct, okay? So I'm gonna do the translation. Let's go into here. So English, let's go Yoruba. By the way, I'm going to show you what we get on Google Flow. We just want to get this correct. Okay, Yoruba is translated. Is this correct? Is this right? It says they said plastic was the end. Is this the right way of saying this in Yoruba language?
Yes. They said plastic is the end. Also, yes, you can say it's correct.
Okay. So guys, I'm going to try generating again with this because what she had here was totally wrong. So I'm going to put it back, okay? So you guys can see. This is the right one I got from Google Translate. So what I'll do is I'll regenerate it again. So I'll show you guys. That's why I said check it again one more time. So let's copy this into a regeneration and I'll show you the one of Google Flow. Then we'll go into the CGI because of the time. So let's go into, I'm going into a totally different account now because I don't want it to have it in history where it's speaking wrong. So I'm going to the same thing, pasting this in. Same thing, you guys said this was okay in Yoruba. So let's hope that she says it right. So let's upload this because I really want you guys to see the accent of languages. So let's put this here. Okay, so we'll wait and we'll leave this to generate and go and look at the one of Flow. So it's generating. Let's go back to Flow. Back to Flow, this is what I got. Let's see the difference in quality of image. So let's play this one.
They said plastic was the end. One ni ayeti baje.
I don't like this one. You know why? Because it's weird in the way her finger is underneath the whole thing, the rubble. So yeah, it's very weird. So that's why I don't like this. I would go with the first one, although the first one, what's wrong with it is the way she said it in Yoruba was incorrect. But in terms of like video, you have to pick the most accurate and look at her expression. Her expression is good in the way she's saying it in English. Look at the expression.
They said plastic was the end. One ni ayeti baje.
And yeah, of course, the Yoruba is wrong. But also what, again, you can make sure of is just get the right graphics. If you get the right graphics and you take your time in posting it into the the video generation, you're going to do a great job in making the right video clip. So let's go back into the correct version. Let's see. Let me see if this one is right. This is the correct Yoruba that we translated from Google, like we got from Google Translate.
They said plastic was the end. One sokwe ikeni opinre.
Is that right now? How does that sound?
The accent is still
A bit odd. Is it a bit odd, the accent? Okay. Well, anyways, with practice makes perfect. So you can keep adjusting it and even getting the right accent. Do you want me to play it again? Should I play it again?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me play it one more time.
They said plastic was the end. One sokwe ikeni opinre.
Is that right? The way she said it at the end? No?
No.
Still not right. Is it the accent or what she said is wrong? The
What
accent
she
is
said,
wrong?
the
Oh, what
last
she said.
statement, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Anyways, guys, I just showed you that in these these specific accents and languages, you kind of have to be a bit more specific and see if you can get a more accurate version. If you keep regenerating from experience, like I'm talking about dialect, I'm not talking about language, French, English, Spanish, that one's fine. But like more of a specific dialect, you can keep regenerating it to get a good sort of output. So I'm gonna have to skip it here though. You get the idea in terms of like, you notice that the text is correct. That was checked out, right? You notice that we generated scenes to kind of be meaningful and emotional. That's checked out. Let's go and do the one for the 3D CGI. And then I'm not going to put Yoruba in that one until you get like until you get the right accent for Yoruba, because Yoruba is very specific. It's like Hausa and Igbo and these specific dialects that have to be accurate. So I'm going to skip over that and let's go to the 3D CGI. Let's go back there. So 3D CGI, I already have the image generated. All I have to do is just generate the video and that's it. Okay. Someone's asking a question. I hear a voice. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Based on this last video, yeah, is it possible, just like the other class where we generated a sound, sound, is it possible that we can also generate a voice and then add it to the video, just in case this one is not rhyming from Google Flow?
That's a very smart question. Actually, that's good that you brought it up. Yes, guys, it is possible. You can even record your own voice. Okay, that's actually a very good question. So you can record your own voice and speak the correct accent, and then split the video, because that would be another thing. Split it into the part like when she talks. Okay, let me show you an example. When she's speaking in English, right? Split it in the part where she starts to talk in Yoruba, like get rid of that part, or even just leave it blank so that when you're generating the scene, you don't have her speaking, but there's motion. So what I mean is when you copy the Yoruba part, just leave it blank. I'll show you what I mean. Let me show you, because I think this is very important. There's a trick to this type of thing. And Joy, that's a very, very smart question. Good that you asked that question. So here, guys, look, when you paste this thing in here, okay, in this part, when you're doing this, leave this part blank like this. Don't do it close. Leave it like that. Do that space. Okay, which means when she speaks, when she says this, there's going to be a silence, which would be playing the video naturally, but then you can replace that silence with your own voice and voiceover or whatever voiceover in whatever accent you want. And that will make so much sense. You just have to be smart when you're generating the scene to make sure that it speaks it in a way whereby it will say it in English, and then it will make sense to when you put your own voiceover, it will rhyme so well. And that's just the most accurate thing you can do. So that's a very good question coming from Joy. I don't have the time to redo this again, but you guys get the idea. Just blank it out, give the blank space, and then in that place, you can now put your audio, like your soundtrack. Okay, guys, I need to move on to the CGI thing. Hopefully I have time, but you guys, I think already know how to generate, you know how to generate videos for now. So the CGI really is the same thing. You just have to upload the picture, and again, the same thing happens, but I just want you guys to see. And so the picture is right here, okay? Then go back to your scene. Remember, 3D CGI is right here, so let's do that. And then I think I'm gonna wrap up with the audio, the soundtrack. I might take 5 minutes of the time, because I really wanna show you the soundtrack, and I think I need to wrap up then. So I will talk about the portfolio thingy, don't worry. I will speak about it real quick. So I'll just paste this in here. You guys already know this, just the whole thing. Paste, right? Paste, then what happens? I'm not gonna do any Yoruba in this, just English. And I'll actually try to show you how we can make it the blank. Actually, I'll use this as an example. So for the Yoruba again, and the part of the Yoruba and the English, I'll just come back and use, let me see, what was the scenario? What was the tone here? Okay, here, this part. Again, just say, give me this in the English version. So what I'll do is come back down and give a space, paste the same thing to not waste time, copy this part, shorten this, blah, 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 all the way here. Maybe not in Yoruba, but in English. And I think I might just even take out the Yoruba part. Let's keep it in English for now. So, and then let's paste that here. Okay, so I've gotten everything. I said shorten this and then put that here. And I think that's all. Send it. Let's see what we get. I think the English, to be honest, is actually short. I don't even know why I'm shortening this. The English is fine. I don't know why I'm doing it. It doesn't need this, guys. It's fine. The English is short. It's okay. It's not long. I feel like it's fine. So I'm just going to take it back. If you want to see the shortened version, I'll show you. But I don't think it needs to be shortened because we're not doing the Yoruba anymore. So it says sound deep baritone, blah, blah, blah. Let's keep it the way it is. Text overlay. Remember what we do, the trick text. Don't forget the trick text. Copy this trick text. Paste it over here. Where's the trick text? Right next to action. The same thing. Copy the whole, the thing that's on the picture, the text overlay. Paste it down. Copy and paste. Then the last thing is to copy the description. Remember I told you guys about the description and paste it over here. Voila, that's all. That's really the work that you need to do. Now, once that's done, delete the text overlay. And that's all finished. Just make sure everything makes sense. Oh, I forgot, delete the character. Delete the character and just, take out the character profile description because that's really important and paste it over here. Guys, give me a moment. I need to put my charger in here before it dies. Okay, so then the last part is take this thing out. This whole part goes. This part is not necessary. And then you have your action. Make sure you say an earth spirit. Okay, you got to say who the earth spirit is. You say as shown in the picture here. Don't forget that. That's it. And make sure everything else makes sense. Yeah, so I think everything is good. All good, all good. Transition, all good. I think no problem. So send and generate. That's all. Now, the captions, you guys already know captions. You can choose captions from here. It's really easy. Just pick any caption you like. I'll show you in the video, and then you're good to go with captions. So back into the video right now. And now soundtrack. Let's go into soundtrack while this is happening. So I'm going to close the Google Flow, close the Yoruba translation. Let's go into soundtrack. Oh, soundtrack, actually, you don't need to go into a new stuff. Just come here and say create music, okay? And then just say create. You can use keywords here. Beautiful soundtrack that is catchy. Make sure you say without singing. Remember what was happening last class? Without singing, okay? That is suitable for the short video above. For the short video above. The short video above. That's it. You can do a very small description like that. If you want to give it more details, you can go ahead. But I think for now, I'm just going to do this and send. Once you do it, it will generate a soundtrack. If you're in the same place where you created the scenes, just ask it to generate something that is suitable for the shorts video above. However, be careful because remember we said in Yoruba, so I'm hoping it doesn't do anything where it's going to speak in Yoruba language, but yeah, if it does, you understand the idea is just to get the right instruction. But when you're doing this, just make sure you're getting it in the right, accents and in the right speech and all that stuff. I'm just hoping he doesn't stick this in its head and put something there in Yoruba, which is wrong. So anyways, let's see what it will do. While it's doing that, let's get back to our 3D CGI. Let's see.
For too long, our world felt the weight of a choice that never died.
Do you see that? You guys saw it, right? Do you want me to increase the... Yeah? Should I play this again, by the way? Do you guys see it?
Yeah,
For too long, our...
Okay, all right, I'm gonna play it again. All right, let me take it back from the beginning. I've put it on high volume, so.
For too long, our world felt the weight of a choice that never died.
Do you see it? Should I play it one more time or is it okay? Yeah, good. Okay, so do you guys understand one thing of why I said put transition, guys? Transition is important. You know why? Because look at the end. Look at the end.
Our world felt the weight of a choice that never died.
Coming here. You see? it will make so much sense when you put the second scene, because the second scene will connect so well to the first scene that it looks so natural. So that's why I said put transition. And like I told you personally, for me, if I was to do this, I personally like the 3D CGI because this is a totally different type of graphics. So anyways, you guys get the idea. If you want to do captions, I said put captions in here. And as he's speaking, the thing about, I would suggest you guys do your editing of your video in Vids. Vids is a good video editor, because especially if your video is not long, because here you can be able to remove captions and things that you don't want in specific scenes, which you can't do in other editors, but with Vids you can, like you can take out this caption, you don't want it here, you want this type of caption and stuff like that. So if you look at this, it's doing the same. See,
our
captions are
world
working
felt the
fine.
weight of a choice that never.
So anyways, that's the captions. Let's get back to the music real quick. Oops, something happened. What happened? Let me try this one more time. My music wasn't generated, so real quick. And while we're doing music, I want to talk about the portfolio and the assessment to wrap up this lesson. Now, the music is going to regenerate again. If you're still having problems with music generation, really, there's an easy solution. Just go over to, oh, I think I'm hooked. Can you guys still hear me? I feel like my screen is jammed. Can you still hear me okay? Yeah, okay. I feel like, okay, my screen is a little bit jammed, guys. Let me see if I can stop sharing for a minute. Oh, I don't think I can. Give me a minute. What happened to the screen? Okay, I'm back. Right. Music, as I was saying, music, generating and composing music. It's doing it now. Let's go back into the assessment real quick because of the time. So you guys know your assessment is over 100 points, right? Except this one for lesson 4. Lesson 4 is over 200 points. I hope you heard me correctly. Lesson 4 is 200 points. That means the assessment that you're going to do for this lesson is 200 points. Why? Well, because you're going to do both the normal video, which is storytelling, like I showed you guys, and 3D CGI. And you have all this time up until before next class to do it. So you gotta be very smart. When you do the scenario for the normal one, just do the same thing for the 3D CGI. I'm gonna upload my scenario as an example, but don't use mine, create your own. Now this is 200 points and it's gonna be here. For the portfolio, I think I showed you guys before. If you go to your Gmail, I don't want to show you how to do portfolio. I think everybody knows how to make a portfolio. I don't know how many of you guys have sites. Yes, go ahead, John. I'm listening to you before I move into portfolio. Yes, go ahead, John.
The assignment is not clear yet, too. Have you sent the assignment to us?
No, the assignment is not being sent yet, John. It's going to be uploaded for you guys earlier, so that's probably on Monday. You have all the way until next Friday so that you can make sure you do, guys, the normal video and the 3D CGI. Remember that each video is 30 seconds, so all you need is 1 minute. 1 minute in total, I'm talking. So 30 seconds of the normal video, that's emotional storytelling, and then 30 seconds of 3D CGI. You guys have to use your own intuition here, just like what Joy is suggesting, what John is saying. Use your intuition in the sense that maybe you can try out the part where you speak in another language or in Yoruba accent, whatever it is. That's the idea. You have to put something creative in this next video you're going to be making, which would be 3D CGI, one type, and then normal video. So I don't know, think of something smart to put in there. You can do, like I said, the accent. For the portfolio, I want to go quickly into that so I can wrap up. Portfolio, you guys can do Google Sites. If you don't have Google Sites, what can you do? Blogger. Everybody has Blogger in your Gmail. Google Sites, you can go online. I don't want to talk too much about it, and I think I'm breaking off a little bit. Hopefully I'm not, but I hope you can hear me. In Google Sites, it's pretty easy how to do your portfolio here. All you have to do is come here and you have to show lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3 on separate pages, what you did in each lesson, and just put the link to, maybe you guys create a YouTube channel at this point because you have like 4 different, content. So you can upload there on YouTube, see how people relate to your content, and then put the link to that into your portfolio, like on pages. I think I showed you guys before how somebody did his portfolio. Did I not? I showed you, right? I told you you should have something similar to this. If you guys want me to put it for you guys as an example, I can put it for you as an example in Google Classroom. See how he did his portfolio? So something similar. you need something like this. And you can even do better than he did. Anyways, this is the portfolio. You have two options. You have Google Sites and you have Blogger. Don't worry about the portfolio now. When you finish the course, that's next week, Friday, you have about a week and a half to be able to get your portfolio completed and submit it for your final report card where all your grades are just going to be compiled. So you could start it early, but I'm just saying you're going to have time to do it a week and a half after next week. Okay, let's get back into music so we can wrap up this lesson. I don't know what happened to my Gemini. Is it generating? What happened to it? Oh, it's here. Okay, guys, it's generated the music. Do you want to hear? Ooh, I like the way the music video is. So cool. I mean, the background thing. I'm going to play it for you guys. I'm going to fast forward it a little bit. You get the idea. So that's the music. If you download it, if you come back, and I think this was your question, John, last time, how are you going to put music into your video? Well, very easy. You come to vids, just click insert, upload. And when you do, you can actually upload your music into your video. So like this, for example, and then you can reduce the sound of your music so that it actually goes very well with the speech. Don't make it too loud. So I'm going to make it like 35 or something, or 40, depends really. So let me play it like with 42. Let's make it 40% of volume. And I want the speech to be more than the music, but I want the music in the background.
For too long, our world felt the weight of a choice that never died.
So the music was playing there, but if you're wondering why you didn't hear it, well, because the music is starting to build up and also because the music was playing low. So I can increase it so that you guys can hear, make it a 75 or even an 80, and then you'd hear the difference. So it really depends on how you want to set this.
For too long, our world felt the weight of a choice that never died.
You see how it was building up so nicely with the whole scene, right? You guys understand. So is there any question on music, on anything? I think I've tried my best to cover those doubts that you all had. Hopefully I've covered it. Hopefully we were able to do this. Content doesn't stop. Try your best to do your work really well, because at the end of this course, remember, we're going to be picking the best students or students to be able to work with us as interns, where we will be assigning you content work that we will pay you time to time, but you will start with us as an intern and you'll be able to be a professional and actually get experience. So you really need to do your best on this. Now, guys, I need to wrap up. Is there any questions? Anything you want to ask? I didn't go about the whole logo picture. I'm assuming you know how to do logos, so you can search that online or something like that. That could be for another thing. Any questions? Oh, one more thing. Please check out replit.com. They have really good stuff. Unfortunately, I can't go with you on this right now because of the time, but it has so much good resources in there. It is for software development, which is a course that we're coming to do, Naija Pro Pulse in Nazli Tech, but they have some really good information and resources for content developers that most people don't know about. So yeah, check that out and just learn more about it. Any questions, guys, before we wrap up? We're going to have to wrap up now.